Hey, album of the year, Music Meltdown, 1992. This year's cool. I don't like it as much as the previous two, but I'd still say it's a pretty solid year overall. Everything in my top five, I got 4.5. Rich, 92. Any thoughts?
Killer year. Still in the middle of my college career that got aborted. Um, I think it's a great year musically. I think it's fantastic. I could spend a long time listing out albums I like, but I will keep my honorable mention shorter.
Alrighty. My honorable mentions only got three this time. I have a top five that's all 4.5, but my honorable mentions are all four for me, which I think are really good. Harvest Moon by Neil Young, one of his better later period releases. Just has some really great songs on it. He sounds really cool. After then, I got Richie Boy's favorite band, Pavement, Slanted and Enchanted. Stephen Malmalkus just sounds cool as fuck. And I love that sort of heavy distorted guitar you get on this record. It's cool as shit. Um, my final runner up, it's gonna be Us by Peter Gabriel. I like Peter Gabriel a fair bit. I think that this is one of his better records, in my opinion. It's kind of so too, to a degree, but less pop centric. And for that, I think it works. Into the top five now. Fifth place for me, I'm going Honey's Dead by the Jesus and Mary Chain. Jesus and Mary Chain, fucking awesome band. They never quite peaked the debut, but they got plenty of awesome stuff past here. They're just, I don't really know how to describe them. They're just like this really cool alternative indie band. They sort of were like approaching shoegaze at the start, but then they turned into a bit more of like a synth poppy deal, and then they just always altered between like having that heavy distortion, getting rid of the distortion, adding it back. Here it's at like a cool median, and I like it a lot. Next up, one of my favorite metal albums, honestly, possibly my favorite metal album of all time, going Angel Dust by Faith No More. This shit is once again cool as fuck. I think that this record is just super captivating. Mike Patton is an absolute genius, but he's also insane at crafting music. I just think that really the songs on here are amazing. Midlife Crisis, I think, is really lovely. I love A Small Victory. It's just a really, really cool album that I think is not underrated per se, but I think it should get talked about more as like one of the best metal albums in general. Going up from there, I have the Shoe and Lock to be your favorite album of the year, and my favorite album by this band can be Wish by The Cure. It's got Friday I'm in Love. Enough said. It's just a killer sort of slightly poppier record by The Cure, but still having sort of the dark sort of just like disgusted there for a brief moment.
I did?
Yeah, I just saw like a look of just absolute disgust for a brief moment.
Oh, I didn't mean it. I don't know. I Who knows where that came from?
No, that's all
The
good. Shit
dark
happens.
recesses of my subconscious.
Some you thought about Robert Smith just not releasing the album.
Oh
Really
God. Yeah.
release the damn album, Robert Smith. But
That
no,
is like a years long nightmare.
it's approaching a decade long nightmare now. But no, Wish is cool as shit. I like it a lot. It's my favorite Cure record. Runner up, this is a new edition. I think with more listens, this could be my number one. I have Propeller by Guided by Voices. I think that this record is, once again, say it with me now, phrase of the day, cool as fuck. No, I just think that it's a really awesome blending of just these really short, fast-paced, really frantic songs that sort of have this great spontaneity and energy to it, which is something I don't typically like, but I think works really well. I haven't heard a lot of their other stuff, but based upon this record, it kind of feels like Husker Du updated for the 90s, and I like Husker Du a lot. So I like that record. But my winner, it's my beloved Love Deluxe by Sade. This record is sexy, sensual as shit. Lovely trip hop beats highlighted with the amazing virtuosic playing of everybody within Sade's band. Her talents as a songwriter are at full front here, and her voice is, per the usual, just absolutely stunning. Tracks like a Tattoo, No Ordinary Love, Cherish the Day. It's just a really gorgeous record. I love Sade a lot. This was my second favorite record by her, and it is my favorite album of 1992.
Very nice. Yes, I love that album. Um, or I love some of it at least. But yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Angel Dust. It's a fucking disgrace that it's not on my top five list. But anyway, I'll jump into my honorable mentions. I've got Diva, Annie Lennox, The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion, The Black Crowes, Check Your Head, Beastie Boys, Copper Blue, Sugar. Damn, that's a great album. You talk about Husker Du. I think this is the best thing Bob Mould ever did, really, personally. Um, Red Heaven, Throwing Muses. How is this not on my top five list? This was my favorite Muses album for a long time. Just insanity. Okay, my top five. Number five, I've got Black Eyed Man by Cowboy Junkies. I'm actually not a super huge Junkies fan, but for whatever reason, I really latched onto this album. I guess you'd call it alt country or folk rock. I just think the songs are great, and I love Margot Timmons' soft, breathy vocals. Number four, I've got Uh-Oh by David Byrne. This is an underrated David Byrne album. It's got a lot of exotic percussion and instrumentation, sort of a continuation of what the Talking Heads were doing on their last album, Naked, which I happen to adore. This is every bit as good as the Heads. Um, Funny as shit, too. Just brilliant songwriting. Um, Number three, I've got Core by Stone Temple Pilots. Dear Lordy, this was fucking huge when it came out. Plush was all over MTV. I was addicted to that song. I couldn't get enough of it. Then several other hits from this album followed. Maybe they did jump on the grunge bandwagon, but who cares? This rocks fucking hard, and none of that shit really even matters. My number two is Honey's Dead. Glad to see it on your list. Honey's Dead just kicks ass. It retains their heavy, distorted guitar sound and mixes it with alternative dance beats. There's just the right amount of controlled noise, and it sounds so cool. Some songs are kind of like early Britpop at times with a tasty, harder edge. I used to skip the first and last tracks because I thought all that crap about wanting to die like Jesus Christ and JFK was just them trying too hard to sound cool and edgy. It was kind of a turnoff. I've gotten over that though, thanks to a conversation I had with a fellow fan. Now I just see it as, damn it. Now I just see it as sort of like campy black humor, and I can dig it. This album is like the epitome of cool. It's my favorite Jesus and Mary Chain album. I love it way more than Psycho Candy, which is just too harsh and noisy for me. Um, this is their best, in my opinion. Number one, of course, it's got to be Wish from The Cure. Pretty much my favorite band. Um, some days maybe it's Susie and the Banshees, but yeah, I'm gaga for The Cure. Which Wish brings the eclecticism of Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, but pushes the emotions to radical extremes. Robert Smith Smith's lyrics are more straightforward than ever before, using a style which will eventually burden some of his later work, but it serves him well on Wish, and the songs cut deeply. Some songs, namely Open, End, Cut, and From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea, are easily among the heaviest songs in the Cure catalog. Then you get some of the happiest songs ever made, with High doing the Unstuck, and of course, The Cure's biggest hit, Friday I'm in Love. They named their next album Wild Mood Swings, but I'd say they're even wilder on Wish. Probably the best lineup of Cure musicians ever. And they were great when I saw them live on this tour in Washington, D.C. Yeah, Wish number one.
All right. Nothing too crazy there.
I know you're not a um, core fan.
Yeah,
You
core
like
fucking
other
sucks.
ST. Oh, come on now. You
Literally every other STP record is better to me. I don't like core at all, really.
and it's not like you don't like grunge.
Just something about that record. Just I just don't like really anything about core.
Huh.
I think
Okay.
Scott sounds like awful on it is the main thing. He's trying so hard to be like Eddie Vedder and Lane Staley at the same time, and it's just like just be Scott.
Am smelling like a rose that somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Just be fucking
Oh, it
Scott.
sounds so cool.
Just be Scott Weiland. You're the best frontman of the 90s. Just be Scott Weiland.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe he was still trying to find his voice.
No, he was finding other people's voice. That's the issue. But no. Wish is a good record. It'd be pretty high up there for the most part for me. But
It's a
yeah,
5-star album for me, but it actually does not rank high. I like a lot of other Pure records better. As great as it is, that's
I
just how
don't.
much I love the Cure.
Fair enough. I guess we'll have to do the head to head one of these days to see who's better, the Cure or Susie. I could say with utter confidence and absolute certainty the answer is the Cure.
The Cure has a lot more versatility.
They also just have better songs consistently. But I know you love Susie, so I will leave you to that.
Okay, thank you.
Poor superstition, though, missing the top five. Oh well. With that being said, that was 1992. Next year, we're doing one of the best years in music, 93. That being
Yeah,
said,
you'll notice I didn't mention Superstition for 91. So.
because it sucks. But no, this is 1992. I hope that you all had a good fun. Bye.